I know the firsthand transition from military to civilian life can be one of the toughest battles you face. The wounds that are brought home aren't always visible, but they're just as real, and they deserve the same amount of care and commitment. And that's why being here today at Rush's Road Home program means so much to me. It's a place where veterans, service members, and their families can find not just treatment, but understanding, compassion, and a true path to healing. This is a unique situation because very rarely does this occur. We have 6 members of the Illinois Senate here. This is very rare for all of us to get in one room at one time together for such a special thing. Today we're taking another step forward, and it's an exciting day to award and announce a $1 million capital grant for the Road Home program. This investment will strengthen facilities, expand services, and make sure that every veteran who walks through these doors gets the care they've earned. The Road Home program is more than just some sort of a service. It's a lifeline, and it restores hope. It rebuilds families. It reminds us that we're not alone in this journey home. And when we invest in our veterans, we honor their services, not with just words, but with action. And that's exactly what this grant represents, action that'll change lives for years to come. The team here at Rush, thank you very much for your service. We have a Gold Star mom in the room. Some of you may not know the full gravity of that, but she's all in, and God bless you. And but thank you for your service, your sacrifice, and your trust. And together, we'll make sure that every veteran finds their road home.
You know, it's an honor and a privilege, but more importantly, a responsibility for legislators to support not just the people that you meet at the VFW or the American Legion or at any military event. It's the ones that you don't see that are slipping through the cracks. And that is our responsibility. I had a father-in-law that died 2 years ago, 97 years old, served in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. No one had ever heard any war stories that would have given us pause until he was about 95. I started just talking to him on a couch. Now, everyone thought he had a clerical job in the Army for all those years. And he's telling me about a 2-man foxhole and being a machine gunner in the Philippines. Now, for 70 years, he suppressed that. We were lucky. It didn't affect him like it affects other people. So that's our responsibility, is to make sure that those who slip through the cracks are found. And a road home just seemed so easy for us to support. And I want to thank our 2 veterans in our group, Mike Porfirio and Mike Hastings, for bringing this to our attention. It's an easy ask for us to support those who have made our freedoms what they are. So, with that, I thank a road home and Rush Hospital for what you do. It's so vitally important, and we want to keep supporting it and bring more awareness to it so that maybe more legislators will join in and we can help even more.
That post 9/11 veteran population is somewhat of is unique, right? When we think about the attacks of September 11th. Some of the early veterans of the Iraq and Afghanistan war now even potentially in their 60s. And we also have veterans in their 20s. I mean, just the spectrum of veterans that have been impacted by those wars, and really trying to make sure that we're serving them and giving them the care, the opportunities that they've earned through their service and sacrifice. And so just applaud Road Home for those efforts. And it's always good when we could point at things in the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago that are best in class in the nation, right? And the model you've built here is best in class in the nation. That has to be scaled up, like you said, so that every big city, every state in the United States of America has something like this. So again, applaud everything you do. And so it's just encouraging, it's motivating to see this great work. I applaud my colleagues for being for their service in the General Assembly, their leadership, being advocates for veterans, and again making this critical investment to make sure that we're able to continue to serve veterans, expand that access to care, and hopefully this is the beginning of a great friendship and partnership, and look forward to it.
I think what I'll do is take a little different path to talk about our group, the legislators that are here and the legislators that couldn't be here. Our job is to learn, and this was an opportunity. We knew about you. You know, Mike, the two Mikes came to us and said, this is a program we need to support. But this is an opportunity for us to really dig in and understand what you do, to learn about the program, to learn about Road Home, and the impact that you have, not just on Illinois veterans, but throughout the country. And so what I want to do is thank you and your team for what you're providing to those who are in dire need sometimes. And so getting to know the staff today has been an education. So we can better understand what you do, so we can tell that story and communicate that story. And so I don't have the background maybe that the two Mikes do, serving. My dad served in the Air Force in Korea. But to better understand what your services are for the people we serve is critically important. And so your commitment, your dedication, and your compassion to those who truly deserve it is touching. And so it gives us an opportunity now to go home and provide that information to those who potentially will need it.
Thank you to those frontline people here in the office, whereas the therapists, the psychologists, psychiatrists that are one-on-one interfacing with these veterans every single day and their families. That's the kind of contact that we all know there just isn't enough of, and we need to do more, which is why I'm glad we're here today to do our small part as the state of Illinois to offer a way to increase that capacity. You know, the reason that veterans issues are so important to me, about 20 years ago, and got us a job as a driver and scheduler for Congressman Lane Evans, who for a long time was the ranking member on the Veterans Affairs Committee out in D.C., worked very hard to get coverage for Agent Orange exposure for veterans and their children that were diagnosed with spina bifida and other conditions, and just instilled in me the reality that far too often government fails our veterans when they come home, and we always need to go that extra mile to make it happen. Shortly thereafter, I got involved with a group called Bridging the Gap, which is a stand down for homeless veterans. And we take that opportunity every year with that stand down to make sure that we connect our veterans locally with the services that they need, or as many of them as we possibly can, again, knowing that we constantly fall short. And so when I stand here today with all of you, knowing how much resources you put into this program, and how many hours you put into this program, how many veterans and their families you're able to serve, you realize that the cost is great, but it's priceless. I know that our governments can never, ever repay the debt that our veterans have given us, but it's absolutely a reason to keep trying to pay it every single day.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like and subscribe to keep up to date with news from the caucus. For more information on what the senator is working on, please follow them on social media using the links in the description down below.